and your song.
Extra pressure, baby. Yeah, that's my jam. That's everything. That's my jam. There are so many things. So if you say something, I don't know. Okay, the ambience, the weather, the people, the culture, the women. You thought I was going to skip that? So the women, the men. So I just love the culture basically. I love Kenyans. I think this is like a second home to me, and I always say something whenever I'm here, like I will get a house somewhere. It's gonna happen.
So, okay, fine. You can also marry Kenyan. It's all happy.
I think I'm still finding a way to balance both. Why I say finding a way is because we are not perfect, except we just want to deceive ourselves. But one thing I know in my life has been constant is love and awesome. I grew up with a lot of love from my family, my mom, my dad. My dad paid for my first studio session, by the way. Like the first time I was going to ever get into the studio to record, that was my dad paid. And as much as I would love to give my dad the credit, I will also give my mom too, because I know my mom was somewhere just pinching him like, yeah. You know, I when I was like young, I was born into a musical family, by the way. So when I was like the age of like 5, 6, I started playing instruments. I started to pick up instruments. You know, as a parent, you just see your child taking spoons and fork and hitting it on the plate. You know there's something going on there. So that was how it started for me. And at the age of like 13, I could play like 7 instruments, 6 instruments. And then I went to a musical high school. So I like studied music sheets and all this stuff, you know. I can read. I don't think I can anymore. I used to be able to read. And then in uni, I wanted to do music, but then I had a second thought of it not to do music because I felt like I already knew a lot about music. So I did accounting, which was my dad. Yeah, very different. So yeah, I did accounting, which is my dad's profession. Yeah, so I did that to kind of like just. It was a bribe. Underneath it was a bribe to just because I knew I was going to end up doing music. So going to uni to do music would be like predictable. So upon finishing school, I'm just giving you the whole story. Upon finishing school, I made sure I did very well. I did very well. Pops, I want to do music, right? And when I told him, before I told him, I had a meeting with my brothers and they were like, don't do it. Just do your thing. You don't need to tell him. But I summoned the courage one day and I just like, oh, the worst is going to happen. I'm just going to tell him. Because my dad is a very, very scary. So I ended up telling him and he was like, okay, fine. And that really surprised me until I spoke to my mom and then my mom was like, oh, I settled it. And basically why was because when I was like a child, there was a prophet that told my mom that this boy will get to a point in life where he's going to tell you that he's going to do music. Just agree, just support, you know. And that was it. That same year I got signed by Don Jazzy, I got noticed by Don Jazzy. Before Don Jazzy even came, there were like a lot of eyes on the industry on me. And I just want to thank God so far. Okay, I can play like drums, the piano, guitar, the bass guitar, the saxophone, trumpet, violin. So here's the thing, yeah. Right now, I haven't touched like 5 of them in like 3 years. So, but anytime, any day, catch me with the drums and the piano and the sax and the guitar.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to go to that out of the back.
But you're gonna play something.
See how it goes.
So, thanks. Last question. I know you're a good chef. You make some nice food.
Yeah.
Have you tried making Kenyan food?
No, I want to do that. I actually want to
give me suggestions of what you can try and make that's Kenyan.
Hey, don't give me the hard stuff. Just give me something simple.
Okay, there's Matumo. Mokimo, Gideri. Okay. What is it? Samaki Okupaka. Okay. So at least handlers, make sure that he cooks something before he leaves the country. Let's try something, yeah. But that's interesting because I mean you cook both in the studio, in the kitchen. Have you ever had any recipe or food inspire a song? Any of your songs? Have you ever had any food or recipe inspire any of your songs?
Or the other way, no, as well.
Or maybe a song inspire food or recipe?
I don't think I've had a food inspire. Oh yeah. Now that I think of it, I made a song last 2 weeks about jollof. So yeah. Yeah.
Is it already?
It's not.
Okay. So we're looking out for jollof.
No problem. I got you.
Boy. A jiggle dance thing, and then we'll continue the show.
Like you read or you saw online, I actually went to the University of Lagos to pursue music because it was the right platform. If you were like a young person in Lagos or you're a young person in Nigeria, you would realize that there's a lot of artists that have broken out of University of Lagos and become like international superstars. So, and that was like an opportunity for me to look at it and be like, oh, this is actually a platform. So I remember failing the exams like 3 times, but I eventually got in, and then I actually got signed through someone in the University of Lagos, you know. So, and that was something I had at the back of my head. Like, we were doing a lot of shows in school, we were printing CDs, you know, and I think I wouldn't have had it any other way, because coming from where I come from, it's not a lot of people who make it out. You feel me? So yeah, it's been a really like connecting the dots journey.
Yeah, God props to yourself, and can't wait to see where that journey leads.
Yeah.
A fun fact I found also online: you started off as a rapper.
Yes, sir.
Do you really get the urge in studio to just drop some bars on some music, or is that past just now in the past?
I used to rap. I used to be a rapper because I fell in love with that because of my peers in secondary school. So they were into Rick Ross, Meek Mill, Triple MG. Then that was the time. Nicki Minaj, Drake, they just came out at that time. So that was the thing. So I fell in love with the swag, the video, the culture of rap music. So I started rapping. That was like that. And also he allowed me to improve on writing, because that's one thing I realized about people that rap. They always have to say something, you know. So yeah.
And how did that transition then move into, you know, being more of a singer-songwriter kind of an artist?
I've always had a voice, you know, but like I never explored that part. So, but later on I was like, I might just as well sing, you know, because I also loved singing, but starting off as a rapper only helped my singing to be better. So yeah.
Can the fans expect someday like a rap verse in all of the tunes?
Definitely. If you listen to my first EP, I had like a trap song on my first EP, so you can trace that back to my first EP in 2021. So yeah, so it's not like it has left the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So love to hear it. Let's talk a bit.
Do you listen to Michael Jackson?
I love MJ.
What's your favorite MJ song?
My mama used to tell me, "We can't want to get love."
Right? So do you think back then there was anything like TikTok or trend or anything?
No.
Exactly. I feel like this is not just myself, but me personally, I write songs based off experiences, right? Some of them are personal. For example, the one that
It's personal.
The boy has lived many lives, it's fine.
something happened some weeks before that, and the beats, you know, just struck the memory. Let's not go there. So, my point is, I feel like it's better as an artist when you write music of experiences of real life. It doesn't have to follow a trend, because when the trend dies, everything, the trend, it's a trend because it's going to be high at some point and it's going to dip at some point. So it's best to just make music of experiences of life, of nature, of, you know, sometimes, in fact, back in the days, right, why did I say back in the days like I'm old? Some years ago, right, I used to write music in a like in the weirdest situations, like on bikes, like in public rooms, like in restaurants, like in public buses. You understand? Like I would just pick up my phone and maybe there's a somebody in Nigeria, if you're in traffic.
Same.
Are you sure? Yes. I barely hear you guys use the on. You have no idea how it is in Nigeria. If you come to Lagos, right from the airport, as you're coming in, you're already hearing the horn. It's like I just heard like a particular man and it gave me an inspiration for it. So I write music freely from anything. So I feel like it's best that way. It helps the music stay longer, so yeah.
Thank you. So I just want to take you back to Tata again. It's one of your biggest songs, and I think the remix with Jason Derulo, which has garnered over 59 million views so far. So my question is, when you're writing your music, is there any pressure for you to beat Tata? And I mean, just live up to that song.
Okay. I wouldn't say there is any pressure. I just feel like I know I can do better than that. I know I'm going to do better than that. That was a one-time thing. In fact, I've not gone to the studio with the mind of recreating that song. I don't think there's any time I've gone to the studio and I'm like, I want to do another song like this now. I know that was a one-off, right? I know there's going to be many other one-offs, I'm just patiently waiting for the inspirations to come, basically. So no pressure.
This is Joel Welly. I host the breakfast show with my co-host Collabo on Samsi Radio, Kenya. My question is pertaining to the show that's gonna happen tonight. From your recent projects, Love and Hustle and I Live in Color, do you have any specific songs that you are intending to perform, or are you just gonna perform every other song on your recent projects because they're recent?
She wants it.
Basically, I'm going to be performing every song on Love and Also. I just dropped an EP, by the way, for those that don't know. It's titled Love and Also, and it's just it's a mix of love and also, because I feel like in everyone's life, as long as you're an adult, you awesome. And there's definitely going to be the love side too in your life, So basically, the EP is just talking about love and also, and how love and also they both play like very, very big important roles in everybody's lives, So I'm definitely going to be performing the songs from the EP tonight. Definitely. Extras will be like collaborations, right? I feel like collaborations go a long way, and if you check the history of Nigerian music, you see there's been, just like you said, shout out to the OGs, man. They did everything, and I feel like the collaborations they did back then put African music, on the map, in the American scene, in the other parts of the world, I feel like collaborations go a long way. I feel like collaborations help. So probably more collaborations, because to be honest, I really love East African music. I really, really love this. I love bongo flavor. I love East African music, and I feel like there's so much gem in it. But more collaborations definitely gonna help. More support too from the fans, and shout out to setups like Hozo Sasa. This type of setups are really, really, really good, because bringing artists, organizing things like this is also gonna help, because by the time the media gets to see stuff like this, people believe in music more as a community, as a community, as an industry. I feel like the fans need to see more of things like this.
Yeah, that's true.
They've said everything, but what I would say is that just think about it as when you were in school, and you have a friend in your hostel or in your apartment or in your class. Just remember the first time they played you a song by an artist, even though you don't like the artist. It's like, this guy likes this. This guy is dressing nice. This guy looks cool. If he likes this kind of song, that means this song is cool. Yeah. So the best way to translate music is word of mouth. So if you are telling other people about something, about, oh, I like this music, I like this. So it's just like word of mouth. Just tell more people about your favorite artist. You know, it looks like it's small, but that's the fastest way to sell an artist. So yeah, thanks.